are almost. Now we're alive.
Oh, good. Yeah. It's good because being unalive would have been inconvenient.
Good morning, everyone. It is March 20th, 2023.
I can't believe it.
It is the first day of spring.
Isn't
and
it
there is fucking ice on the ground outside.
35 degrees outside. How are you sure? I thought that the first day of spring was always the 21st.
I thought it was today. Well, maybe it is. I don't know, but all I know is that it's fucking close enough, and there's fucking frost on the ground.
It's 35. Fuck? Yeah, it's like 35 degrees over here. And
I'm in Louisiana.
Right.
Like, what the fuck?
I know, really. It's like, but you know what that means, though? You know what that means? Summer's going to be brutal.
Yeah, that's going to be fun in this closet with overheating equipment and no fans.
Yeah. Summer, I'm not looking forward to that. But
thank you for helping me read the future this morning, Daphne.
Yeah, I know, really. but I don't know what else. But maybe we should get this started.
All right, let's do it.
Okay.
make such pretty art.
Oh, I try.
Good morning, Daphne.
Good morning, Nita. And good morning. Who's joining us in the chat today?
This fine
morning.
Hi, Efrain.
Intro. Hello, Efrain. And yes, and I see you, the three people watching us from regions beyond next to the giant eyeball on my screen. I guess it's Monday morning. Look,
It's
over
Monday
here.
morning, and it's the return of Brian K. Morris over on Rise and Tide.
Oh, that's true. So
So
everybody's
now it's
over
like our
there
Monday
now.
views are going to drop again because Brian's a thief. No, I'm just kidding. I
No.
love Brian. You guys definitely
we
check
wish
him
him
out.
all the best. We're glad that he's back, so it's like, yeah, so we understand if everybody is over there first, but we also know you guys trickle in after a while, so it's okay. We'll still be here, well, at least for the next
Oh
hour.
my God, I almost said just come trickle in on us. No.
That's extra. So
Good morning, Carl.
Right. Yeah, hey. Oh my goodness. So so I guess we might as well just officially get this started while we're here. Hello everyone, or at least everyone who's joining us this early in the morning. My name is Daphne Lage, and I'm a cartoonist, illustrator, and comic book artist from New York. I have been self-publishing comics since 1992, and you know what that means.
You don't understand. I ain't scared of you motherfuckers.
And I am known for the furry fantasy adventure Tall Tales, and currently known for my medieval fantasy soap opera drama Eagle Raven, Heir of the First Unicorn, which returns to Kickstarter this Friday. Oh my God, with issue 6. I still can't believe it. So join us this Friday on the Rage Into the Vlog show, where we do a launch party for Eagle Raven issue 6. Jesus, I can't believe it's issue 6 already. I just got word from my printer. He has my files, and he's going to do my proofs hopefully this week. So it may be, if I'm lucky, I'll get proofs by next week. So at least during the campaign, I will have proofs to show everybody. Hello. But in the meantime, you can read both my comics online at Tall Tales, TAILS online.com, and egoworks.com, EGOWORKS. And you can also check out all my videos on how I make my comics here on YouTube at my channel at Daphne Lage, Lager Art, which simulcasts through the Indie Comics Network. And to tell you more about it is, who are you?
My name is Nita Lanning. I am a writer, vlogger, blogger. I guess I'm a YouTuber.
All right, yeah, I guess.
I have a channel,
I guess
Indie Comics
official,
Network.
right?
There's indie stuff all over it.
Yeah.
I
mean, yeah,
tons of shows. Yeah.
And on the, so you can always find everything on the indiecomicsnetwork.com. .com.
It's .com. Got.
And so everything is easy. And so make sure you like, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you get notified whenever any of our shows go live. So yeah. Oh my goodness. So Brian K. Morris is streaming right now. So It's probably going to be quiet for a bit. We're going to be talking to ourselves. For a bit. No. We have a frame in the chat. I'm sure we have other people joining us in the chat too. Welcome. And it's like, yes, because if you are joining us from Facebook, if you are joining us from Twitter, come on over to YouTube. Join the sexy people in the chat. It's like, it's a lot more, it's a lot easier for us to converse.
And Facebook's shady with comments. Like sometimes they show up, sometimes they don't.
Ooh,
they identify you, sometimes they don't.
And speaking of Facebook being shady, so yesterday, it was either yesterday or the day before yesterday, I had found out that Russell Nolte, who is an author, who was working with both novelists and comic book people through Tyler James's comics launch program. He lost his Facebook page yesterday. We're talking about thousands of subscribers, thousands of posts that he was in the process, that he already was able to put together a book of all his best posts from 2010 to 2015, but now everything else is gone. So we're talking about like an account that he's probably had as early as 2010. And and he says he doesn't know what happened. He can't, there is no live support that he can get in contact with on Facebook. And not only did they lock him out of his account, but his account completely disappeared too. Some people are saying that maybe it's just deactivated and there might be a chance that he'll be able to get his account back. But the problem is that he says that now he's stuck in that limbo where
if he's ever paid for ads, he should contact the Better Business Bureau, because if you've paid for ads, you can contest and make a report.
Pretty sure
Facebook will real quick unlock your shit. Magic trick Nita learned.
Oh, really? Really? Mm-hmm. Okay, so we'll
pay for ads on occasion, people, to secure your shit.
Yeah, because so
if not, they have to refund your money.
Right. Oh, so I'll pass that along
you don't want to, do that.
To him. Well, we'll see if that works. Because so he was like really upset because also there was a lot of contacts that he had that I was dealing with through Facebook. Like I said, he got caught in that limbo where you can, it's like you can get a code to activate your account again, but you need to log into your account to do it, but he can't log into his account. So I mean, so it's like, come on, guys, but you know what? But the thing is, though, it's like, this is what happens when you have a worldwide multi-billion-dollar company only run by 1,500 people, which means an AI is running the rest of it and bots is running the rest of it. So he's obviously, he's very upset about it. He's trying to rebuild. He opened up another Facebook page, but I mean, he's shell-shocked. He's shell-shocked by that. And it only serves, I guess, as a reminder that, as someone else had said, never create your empire on someone else's foundation. And I think that it really stresses the importance of having your own mailing list, having your own website, having, controlling your own store. That's the one thing that I haven't figured out yet. It's like, I know that with Shopify, I can integrate a store onto my website, but I'm not ready for that learning curve yet. But it's like, it was just really, it just goes to show you, it's like, you know what? It's like, if you can get your audience off of these social media sites and onto ground that you pretty much predominantly control, it's really important for you to do that. Because like I said, it's like he lost his account from it had everything up at least 2010. Imagine losing that much, I don't know, just that effort, of building your brand on a social media platform, and they just said, no, bye.
Wow.
So that was pretty, I'm hoping that Tyler James gets, talks to him more in detail to find out what's really going on.
Right.
Like that. But it's like the thing is, once Facebook decides that they don't want you on the platform anymore, that's it. So there was something else too, but there's something else I had wanted to mention too, but then it's like at the same, once that news came up, it was like it just completely pushed the other thing out. So
right.
Wow,
that's nuts.
Yeah. I mean, because the only other thing that I was going through these past couple of days is that Adobe had done an update to Photoshop, and my stuff was glitchy as hell for the past couple of days, and I had been fighting with my Wacom for my Cintiq. Like all of a sudden, I couldn't shut off touch screen. Buttons were getting stuck in Photoshop. It's like it was really getting in the way of me working. And again, it kind of made me think about, remind me as how much I depend on this technology. And it's like, Photoshop does a janky update. Hey, Patrick, does a janky update. And he has things to to do, Nita. He has things to do. Hello. And it was just completely messing with my workflow. And I was trying everything to it's like I deleted drivers, I uploaded drivers, I downloaded drivers, I reinstalled the Photoshop, I reinstalled Wacom, this Deke and this, and it's like, and everything that I could find did some improvement, but it didn't rectify the issue.
Right.
And then it's like I finally got to a point where it's like, okay, how do I disable the touch screen? And it's like I was able to do that, but then I still was having a problem with kind of like sticky tools in Photoshop, and especially the hand tool. And so I was like, oh, you know what? Let me use that keyword, sticky, and see what happens. My tools in Photoshop are sticky. And what's funny was that I came up with more, more solutions to that. And, I tried a couple of things, redid some settings. And then like the very last thing that I read, because someone kept saying it was always the hand tool. For those of you who are not familiar, I think it might be the same in Clip Studio Paint. The hand tool is controlled by the space bar, and that allows you to click and drag, kind of like drag your art,
Right.
Your page or whatever you're working on the screen, and your canvas. And someone had asked the person, is your keyboard dirty? Is your, maybe if you're having a problem with your hand tool, maybe your space bar keeps getting stuck. And it kind of like a light bulb moment, kind of like, wait a minute. So I went to my keyboard and I was like kind of like fussing with it, and then I noticed that when I lifted it up, I noticed that the space bar was actually like this. It was actually
yeah.
And it's like, it's like, so it's like, so probably because technically, my tools on Photoshop were getting stuck because the keyboard was stuck. So I took like a little mini screwdriver and I popped the space bar, and it's like I found the equivalent of a sandwich underneath. I was just looking at that and I go, I guess I should stop eating over the keyboard. So I was, messing around with it, trying to clean it and whatnot, and it's like I put the space bar in, but then I guess like it pissed off the rest of the keyboard, and then all the other keys started acting up. All the other keys now all of a sudden were getting stuck, and it's like, oh my God. So luckily, it's like I was going to it's not Costco. Over here, we have something called BJ's, which was a little difficult for me to explain to Nita, because they don't have BJ's. And she goes, what the fuck is a BJ's? And she goes, well, technically I know what a BJ is, but not in the context you're talking about. And I go, no, it's like BJ's, I guess, is kind of like an East Coast Costco type, like Costco light. So you have Costco, and then BJ's is supposed to be like, we don't have a Sam's Club here. It's actually illegal for Walmart to put anything to come to New York. The only place that they're in is the Bronx.
As it should be.
So Walmart cannot come in here. So we don't have like a Sam's Club or anything, but we have a BJ's. So you go to Costco, like Costco would be like your main, like a warehouse style store, and then you have BJ's afterwards. So that's like they're a little bit less expensive, but they're good, good selection and whatnot. It's like, it's kind of, if you have both near you, it's actually convenient, because honestly, nothing beats the chocolate muffins at Costco. You know what I'm talking about. But so I was able to go to BJ's, get a new keyboard. And so I got myself a brand new, not eaten on top of keyboard. And so far, oh, is it?
It could,
that's funny.
but he could be lying. Never trust Chad.
Oh, okay.
Never trust Chad.
I mean, but you know what? Nowadays, I wouldn't be surprised.
They probably do own it.
They probably do. You know, it's like if they probably bought a competitor, and now it's like
Walmart has
that's
stock
how,
in Souls, so
yeah,
they own
exactly. You know,
everything.
so I wouldn't be surprised. So, but also the funny thing is that this morning when I went to start up Photoshop, it turned out that like Photoshop kept saying there was a new update available. And the thing is, I was like, wait, oh, that's strange because they just did an update last week, which started this whole thing to begin with. And it turned out that the update was, I guess, actually them kind of reverting back to the original version, like to the previous version of Photoshop. There were still some updates to it, but at the same time, you know, so I'm like going, so maybe it was a combination of things, you know, like maybe it was a buggy Adobe update combined with the sandwich in my keyboard. And you know, and it's like, you know, so now, I was doing some work before the show, and so far everything is smooth sailing. You know, I hadn't had anything get sticky. I hadn't anything freak out, you know, so it's like, okay, maybe it was just kind of like a perfect storm of janky keyboard with janky update, you know, and but yeah, but in the end though, it's like I was really frustrated because I go, damn, I really did. But you know, but in the end though, it's like, can we really, you know, it's like, yes, we all got, hey Grant, we all got no, Windows is a tough one. Windows is a tough one. Never update Windows when they say to update. I'm not a beta tester for Windows. You know, like, just like, again, like how much we're so dependent on technology. I mean, think about like how rattled you get when your internet goes down, right? You know, so it's like, you know, so yeah, so it's like then realizing that it's like, holy shit, you know, it's like, you know, I mean, granted, I do have a backup, like just a regular tablet, like, you know, not a screen, not a Wacom, but well, it is a Wacom, but it's just a regular tablet, as opposed to like a secondary monitor that is the Cintiq.
Right.
So I had a backup just in case, but you know, yeah, but it was just like, yeah, it's like we really are slaves to this stuff, aren't we? Whether it's social media, or it's to like Adobe or Clip Studio Paint, or just our computers in general, to the internet, you know, and just like how much.
We were just asked about renter's insurance yesterday, and it prompted me to think about, holy crap. Yeah, I really do need, like, we have renter's insurance, but it's like, I really need pictures of everything.
Right.
Because no one's going to believe my irresponsible broke ass owns this much in electronic equipment.
Right.
Unless I'm going to have to take fucking pictures to prove it. I'm not rich. I'm irresponsible.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. That's kind of, yeah, exactly. But yeah, like the amount of equipment that I would have to replace, you know? Oh, well, yeah, exactly. That too. We've had that happen. Yes. You know, it's like
usually on my end.
Well, I mean, but luckily things calm down a bit because your connections haven't been as bad as before.
Still not near as bad as it was with Cox.
That's true, you know, but you know, considering that it's all in the name, so you knew what you were getting.
Wow. Well, since this is going to be a potty show anyway, you know what else I learned from you, Daphne?
Oh, what did you learn?
That Yankees are sick people.
Well, it depends on
the definition of snowball widely varies. Apparently.
Oh, you didn't know that?
Because we were talking about BJs and everything else. Right. No, I learned what a snowball is. North. It is not the same thing as a snowball down south.
No.
Down
really?
Down south? So down that's south, like a snack that you feed your kids.
Oh. Because that's not what it means here.
No, it's not.
Oh, why were you looking that up? You were looking for delicious pastry snacks.
No, it's not pastry. It's actually shaved ice with cream on it, which makes it even sicker.
Right. Because I think there is a it's either Hostess or Drake's that has something called snowballs, which is like these pink pastries. Like,
oh yeah, I've seen those.
cakes,
yeah, they are snowballs too.
You know,
but when we
coconut.
say snowball, we're like, I guess it'd be like a slushy or an icy, or like it's basically like shaved ice. Yeah, it's shaved ice packed down with flavoring and cream and sometimes candies and shit. And it's like, and so I was like looking up different ideas because we got 2 birthdays coming up pretty soon for the kids and whatnot. And I guess my search history, snowball was a poor choice. And I saw some snowballs, Daphne.
Well, well then.
It's like, that's not what I meant.
Right. I just wanted to look up a recipe for cream pie. Yeah, no, the internet's an awful place.
It's awful. It was as bad as the My Little Pony Rule 34 I found one time.
Look, you know what? Google everything at your own risk.
Like,
and that accounts to everybody. Google everything we're talking about at your own risk.
Yeah, right. And I encourage you to have virus protection when you.
Well, that's true too. Yes. You know, speaking of virus
protection. Oh God, it's that time.
You know, so we do have a guest today, a very special guest.
Very special.
Someone left the cat door open again.
For fuck's sake, you've got to learn to be more. But
you know what? We're gonna have a good time. So everybody, we're gonna run some bumps, and we're gonna bring on the one, the only Chad Perkins.
But before we go into the bump, I want to remind everyone that if you back Doghouse and Sparkle Dog, you have the option of getting these amazing chibi stickers designed by C. Michael Lanning.
They really are cute, yeah.
All right, we're ready? Let's do these bumps. All right, here we go.
Oh, hello there. You just caught me in the middle of making a drink. While I'm doing that, here's a disembodied voice that'll talk to you about what this commercial is about.
Shots with Comics is a comic show on the Indie Comics network after dark. Join some drunk people as they talk about what's going on in the comic world, what comics they are reading, and of course, all cohole. Mondays at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the Indie Comics network after dark. We will offend, anger, and make you uncomfortable. Join us, unless you are a what?
Alright, Get in the Tub, number 1, by Mitch Rogers. Now what do? I need an artist, an editor. There's so much to do. If only there was some kind of thing or show or something that could break down from start to finish how to make a comic. I could read a book on that, but I just realized I can't read. Oh my God, who are you?
Hi, I'm a hammer with googly eyes and I'm here to tell you about Build a Comics Workshop, a show featuring artist C. Michael Lanning and writer Chad Perkins building a comic from start to finish. Join in on the discussions and learn some tips and tricks on how to make comics. It's sure to be exciting, trust me, I'm a talking hammer. Tuesdays at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the Indie Comics Network.
I didn't even know where to keep my eyes. I mean, I swear, it's like, watching your videos and then watching what you were doing in the green room.
I know, I didn't know where
like, you know what? I'm gonna end up unalive before we get there.
There's a lot of going on in my life.
There really is a lot going on. So Chad,
Hey,
welcome to the show. And even though everybody probably by now knows who you are, tell the people who you are.
I am Jesus.
I know.
I am Chad. The whole problem. I am the writer of Blue Lullaby from Marcosia Enterprises, and currently I am the host of the very offensive and very drunken Shots with Comics on the Indie Comics Network at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Times on Mondays. And I am also doing with C. Lanning, the Build the Comics workshop as well, with him starting in whenever he tells me, hey, we're doing this.
Oh, well, that would help, right?
April, yeah.
April, okay.
April. And then currently I'm doing my campaign of Sparkle Dog. So that's currently who I am.
Right. So how did a degenerate like you get into a business as degenerate as comics like this?
Well, I don't know. So really I got into comics first just by obviously reading them. People don't actually read comics though when they make them. But anyway,
that's a different conversation.
A whole other thing. I actually read Brian Michael Bendis's Moon Knight, and that was a mistake. And then about a couple of years later, I started doing an interview show called Comics Are Cool. And then I decided after that to write Blue Lullaby. So it just kind of snowballed into me getting into comics, if you will.
That's the word of the day.
Yep. Now, if you also want to know what a snowball is, it is when somebody takes bodily fluids and puts.
Hold on, wait. This is not House of Bob.
Oh, okay, never mind.
Yeah, we have to kind of have our boundaries here.
Okay, fine.
The peoples can use Google at their own risk on their own. Of course, what that means is that like one of these Saturdays we are going to have to do a House of Bob with you, so we can have more of a more open conversation.
Oh, is that what we're gonna do?
Right. Yeah. So I think we'll put a pin in that. For us to panic about. So you wrote. So was Blue Lullaby your first like published book, or it's like were you writing comics and then that one was the one that broke out?
Nope, that was my first one. That was the first one that was published, and it was the first one that I ever wrote. It started out with Action Lab Danger Zone, and then all that fiasco happened. Right. And then 4 years later, I gained the rights back, and then Marcosia scooped it up. But so far, that has kicked off pretty well, actually. Right. I just got confirmation that it's going to be in a couple of stores around here.
Oh, that's good.
So right here in Michigan, it's going to be in the local shop. So that's exciting.
Nice.
Right. So, yeah. Now, what made you decide that? Okay, you're reading your comics, and what made you decide that you know what, I'm going to try my hand at this? Like, was there a particular book that did it for you?
Well, the Netflix was definitely my inspiration. I wanted to get No, Chew actually. Chew and Why the Last Man were two of the books that really wanted me to get my hand in the comics, because I was like, oh, you can be weird and out there. You just don't have to be superheroes. You can be whatever you want. Because a lot of people, they're like, well, comics are Spider-Man, Batman, Superman, all those. And then I'm like, yeah, but have you ever read Kankor about alcoholism? Right. or just something like that. And then, but yeah, I definitely Chew and Why the Last Man were the two that got me started.
Right. And then it's like, so did you go to other publishers, or was kind of like Action Lab your first and only attempt?
I went to Dark Horse and Image, and then I went to Titan as well, but Action Lab, because I was already pretty associated with them, just because I did a lot of reviews and interviews for them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I targeted them first, and they were the ones that picked me up.
Right. So you were doing like what, comic reviews?
Yeah.
And were they printing it, or were like from their website? You were blogging first.
Yes. Yeah. So I was blogging first on a site called slackjawpunks.com, which is now defunct. I was writing comic reviews for them, and then I started a podcast called Comics Are Cool, where I would interview and just talk about comics. So yeah.
Right. So Shots with Comics is kind of like an offshoot of what you were doing already. It wasn't just like a novelty thing. You can't. Well, technically, it is a novelty, but you were doing. I mean, now you do have this show on our channel, Shots with Comics, which we have returned to the main channel.
Yes,
at your own risk.
At your own risk.
At your own risk, right? It is a adults only stream, so you can all watch Shots with Comics as long as you're age verified and click the button when you log on, because we still don't want to get into trouble here. Now, what was, I guess, kind of well, tell us about the type of show that it is and why you decided to do that show.
So Shots with Comics originated when I was going to, because I was just doing Comics Are Cool by myself, and then I had a host before anybody else. I had one other particular host that we came up with an idea of where we would do a late night show where we would just drink beer and talk about comics. And then that's kind of what spun Shots with Comics. It wasn't until C2E2 that I was doing press is where we introduced the shots and then started to just really dive more into the independent network. Because Comics Are Cool was just like Marvel and DC. And then once we were at C2E2, I was like, oh, that's right. There's a bunch of other publishers too.
You actually turned around.
Yeah. So I scooped up like Halen Smith stuff. That's where I found Drama Llama, Andrew McLean's stuff with Headlopper and Apocalyptic Girl. So I bought a bunch of independent stuff, and then it was just kind of downhill from there, uphill from there. It snowballed, I guess you could say.
Well, here's the thing. I mean, it's like, because doing reviews for comics, for any comics, always seems to be kind of like an easy way to get into the danger zone.
Sure.
Right.
Because it's like, look, it's like, even I'm, it's like, look, everybody, we to kind of quote, paraphrase John Leguizamo, nobody goes out of their way to make a bad comic.
Correct.
He was talking about bad movies. Nobody goes out of their way to make a bad movie. So nobody goes out of their way to make a bad comic. And then here you are with a show where it's like, well, but the thing is, though, I think that's a reviewer's so how do you review like something as that subjective as, like quality and taste and content, like without pretty much, or you do get chased off of platforms, but
you get beat with a hammer,
right?
I mean, really, it's just when you look at a lot of these YouTube channels, it's consistent hate. Like it's literally tearing apart stuff, and a lot of these creators, when it comes to reviewing, they forget that a lot of these people just want feedback.
Right.
Like, yes, you can be funny about it. Yes, you can say, wow, this sucks. But at the end of the day, they also just want to know how they can improve. So that's what our show kind of does, is where we have fun with our reviews. Like we just did David Whalen's, and he wants to come out in our show after we gave him some pretty lukewarm reviews on him.
No.
Yeah. But it's kind of just, I like to do a compliment sandwich type deal with my reviews. Is I like to say, wow, this is what you did well. This is what sucks.
Right.
This is how you can improve. And then this is what, hey, I want to see more.
Right.
As long as I've always felt like as long as you can give a negative review, as long as you feel like you're still supporting the creator, if that makes sense.
Right. Yeah.
And that's what I always want to do with our show, is I want to make sure people, when I give you a negative review, I'm still going to support you.
Right.
And I think that. Oh.
But does the alcohol kind of get in the way of that, though?
Oh God, yes.
Absolutely.
Yes. 100% yes.
Right.
I'll be like, oh crap, that's right. I gotta be nice right now.
All right. Oh no.
Right. Hang on. Back up a minute. But then as a lot of creators listen, they get the idea that we're just getting drunk and it's all in good fun. And especially if you're not targeting them as well,
right?
Like as long as you're not targeting the person, they're like, yeah, they hated my book, but they like me, and that's cool.
Right.
So,
Oh, but but then, or you get the reverse where it's like, because it's like, look, I have to say as well that like me personally, like that's something that it's like, no, you cannot.
review
Like
your book?
I'm too mentally connected to not take constructive criticism in a knee-jerk way.
Right.
It's like, even though I've had people do that, but it's like it usually takes me about a week to process.
Oh, I've had a couple people. I've had a person like that.
Yeah, it's like, and so like, how do you deal with people who do take this type of thing poorly?
I leave myself open to communication with it. So the
Right.
moment behind the scenes, and you guys know how we work behind the
Right.
scenes too.
Yeah.
It's when somebody has a problem with it,
Right.
first I say, it's our opinion, but we kind of just have a conversation about whatever. We just tell them, hey, look, this is just more so for script. This is our show. This is the format that we have.
Right.
If you have an issue with it, we appreciate your feedback, but this is just how it goes. And they're pretty receptive to that. And then they kind of realize I'm just a regular person.
Right.
Like,
Right.
Yeah.
like they're like, oh, he's not attacking. He's like actually talking to me about the problem that I have.
Right. I mean, so it's like, so if we had people who were brave enough,
I mean, yours is right there on my shelf, Daphne.
Right, I know. I don't know if I want to break open, that gate just yet.
No, you guys stay friends. Stay friends.
No.
We just got the band back together, mother.
The band is back together. Why are you ruining it?
If it's like, how do you choose the books that you like? Can people say we have brave souls in the audience who want to send you books? Is that something that you do, or? Yeah. Okay.
Absolutely. Usually we encourage you to send us the books. And we do tell you, we give you the disclaimers and everything behind the scenes, spoiler alert, what we're doing. And then, but when it comes to like choosing our books, I mean, we'll take anything you send us as long as it's nothing this is about, like really bad stuff.
Right. Yeah.
Like there is a line that we do have.
Well, right. Yeah, exactly. I mean, but I mean, it's like, outside of hentai, do you really come across that stuff in more traditional circles?
No, not at all. No, but when it comes to us finding stuff, I love going to the bookstore and just finding whatever I can find.
Right. Yeah. And you have been finding some doozies lately.
We have. Yes. Whew. We actually do have quite a few coming up in the next couple of weeks.
Right.
Today we're doing the Amalgam comics.
Oh no.
Which are the Marvel and DC mashup comics.
Oh
man.
Fun times.
Man, if you want ad revenue, there you go.
Right, I guess. Right.
There's a reason why those were made.
Right. Well, now speaking of that, so you are so UNC decided that you're going to do a second show. Which honestly, I think the premise is really, really good. So why don't you tell more about about the other show that, like you said, until it's going to start in April, and it's the Build a Comic Workshop.
Yes.
Yeah. Tell us about that one.
So Build a Comics Workshop is obviously the brainchild of C. Michael Lanning. He approached me and said, hey, I want to do this. Are you willing? I'm like, do I have to be sober? And he said, yes. I'm like, fine. And he said, what I wanted to do was I wanted to start from the very beginning, coming up with an idea about a comic, seeing what we could do, brainstorm it, work with it, listen to the audience suggestions, and then start writing it, and then art or editing art, and then whichever way we do it. But and then eventually we will get up to funding, and then the next issue, and then whichever, and hopefully we'll keep going. I think it would be really nice if we could get a mini series out of it instead of just a couple of like a one shot or something.
Right.
So, and it's going to be a lot of fun. You get to see Mike's process, or see Michael Lanning's process when it comes to doing artwork, and then you get to see my process when it comes to doing writing as well. So I'll show you how to do my style of script formatting, because I feel like there's no wrong way to write a script, but I do feel like there needs to be some nice pacing, and it needs to be spread out and at least cohesive. You can't be Alan Moore and write a novel anymore. Like, you ever see his books?
I heard. Well, I heard that what he also does. So not only is he writing a novel, but he's paneling he's doing the layouts of the book as well.
Yes,
and it's like, bruh,
no, you don't need.
Can you trust the artist a little bit?
No, he hates everything. He can't trust. He can't even trust his local library.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true.
So,
but the thing is, though, that's something that a lot of writers seem to do, because I remember reading a blog post by Colleen Duran, and someone had asked her, like, so how long does it usually take for you to lay out a comic? And she goes, I hadn't have to do that in years.
Right.
They said that the people that she worked with, they're giving her layouts to work straight off of. So all she has to do is just draw it. And it's like, oh, that's a thing. It's like, I didn't think that was that much of a thing that writers would do that.
See, and truth be told, it also depends on how lazy I am when it comes to writing. But if it's something that I really do want to portray, I will give the layout into it. Like, I will say wide angle or close up of the face or something like that. But if it's just something general, like they're walking down the stairs,
I
don't care what angle it's got. Like, I don't care.
Yeah, exactly.
Or if it's an action scene, I'll just put, and then they fight.
Oh, you're one of those.
Yeah, and it's like, because I want the artist to at least have that creative outlet reach as well. Yeah, and I'll just be like, gore it up or whatever. Like, fuck it up, homie.
Right. Like, I guess if there was something, unless that there was something incredibly specific.
Right.
Yeah.
So when it comes to my writing style, and you'll see once we start doing this show, is it really just does depend on what I'm trying to convey, but I'm not going to try to overstimulate the artist to be like, no, it has to be at a 30-degree angle.
Oh, no. Yeah. That's like, the Alan Moore instructions.
That's just awful.
Right. So of all the comics that you've read and you've written, like, what genre do you like playing in the most?
I like playing in horror. Only because I feel like Look, I'm a simp for gore. Like, I am. Like, the gorier, the bloodier, the better. I love the movie Terrifier.
Right. That I've never. Is that like kind of like an underground movie, or because I've never heard of it?
Really?
Terrifier?
Oh God, yeah. You need to go watch Terrifier.
All right. I mean, I'm kind of a Human Centipede kind of girl.
Those are good movies too. I enjoy this as well. I watched that with my mom. And she's like, why did you make me watch this? I'm like, Mom, I was in the basement watching this and you came down and you sat down. I didn't make you do anything. Exactly. You just started watching it.
Yeah. I mean, there was a weekend where it's like, I think we were watching The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. There was another movie, and then we're watching like Human Centipede at somewhere in there. And when we came out of that weekend going, never trust Germans with basements.
Yep. Oh, you were
yeah.
Oh, you were watching the original Girl.
Yes, we were. Yes, we were watching. Yes, the Swedish version, right?
Yes, not the Daniel Craig version.
Yeah, not the Daniel. No, because they never finished it. So
no.
But if anyone wanted to watch the original version, it's like I don't remember where it was, on Netflix or something that we saw it, but the original Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, it's a trilogy in Swedish. It's very worth it. It's very worth it.
Girl That Plays with Fire is the second one, and then something Spider Web.
I don't remember it's a trilogy. It's
the trilogy. But the other one I've kind of been getting into lately, playing around with. Horror is very dramatic. It's you can kind of do whatever you want with it. You can put anything on the screen to make it scary. I mean, there's people who are afraid of chairs, and I know for a fact there is a comic called The Chair, which I think is about a haunted chair, but that's alternative comics as well. But I've also really been playing around with romance lately too.
Oh,
yeah, like I know. I actually do have a soft spot for romance,
right.
when it comes to books and like webtoons and everything. And
Uh-huh.
Daphne, I want to rage with you when it comes to webtoons so bad.
Oh, it's like why?
Honestly,
Why?
just I'm sitting there like when you were talking about like reusing assets and just
Oh, yeah.
like it's a nightmare
Mm.
with a lot of those books.
No, it's like I'm seeing
it-
that. Look, like the unfortunate thing, it's like every time I see a new manga now, that's all I see. I open the manga and it's like, oh, it's all assets.
Yep. It's
You
all
know?
photographs, and I
Yeah,
mean some of them are
right. I mean, it's like it just depends on, but like people, there are people who are better at using and camouflaging those things than others.
yeah, if you look at
Yeah.
somebody like Let's Play,
Hmm.
they actually do real I mean, granted, they kind of don't hide it, but
Right.
you don't it's the story's really good that you don't notice until way
Right.
later. Like, wait a minute, she's taking photographs and
Right.
just implementing them in the scene, and she's building the characters around them. And a
Yeah.
lot of these
Yeah.
people do have talent as well.
No, you see, that's
Like,
the
that's
thing.
the
It's
thing.
not like, yeah, not like the people who are doing this can't do it otherwise.
Right.
It's just that they need to crank out so much work that they just do whatever it takes. I mean, remember, it's like the one of the ladies you were talking about, she had to do the equivalent of 11 pages a week.
Yeah, the Unordinary Girl, if I remember.
Yeah, so it's like, yeah, you're doing, if when your livelihood, you're contractually obligated.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, you do whatever it takes to do
Yeah.
that.
I'm not knocking them like
Yeah.
at all. It's just it's a disaster on what goes into it.
Yeah, no, it really is. It's like, and that's the thing. I think that it reflects more on the industry itself and how it's run than the individual creators who have to function in this environment.
I agree.
So speaking of functioning in this environment,
Well, barely.
so you do have a campaign on Kickstarter right now, the Legend of Sparkle Dog.
Yes.
Which it is kind of like, it combines, actually it's kind of like a satire horror more type comic, isn't it?
It's a satire, horror, sci-fi, fantasy, whatever you want to make it.
Right.
It is one of those books where I kind of play with genres. And that's kind of what I've been enjoying lately, is just challenging my mind with it. There's no romance in it.
Right.
but I am working on a romance book.
Well, I mean, yeah, we definitely, that I definitely want to see, because it's like, because Nita had, because you've written the book Blue Lullaby, which Nita says is Nita highly recommends it.
Yes.
So yeah, because she read it, she goes, "Oh my God, Chad can actually write."
Thank you.
And so with Legend of Sparkle Dog, so why don't you give us like just a quick overview of the book and what people can expect from it?
Sure. So this one follows the story of my gender fluid troll Quinn, that decides to, for whatever reason, buy a fursuit on a very shady website, for funsies, I guess. And once it comes in the mail, they pick it up and they realize maybe this thing is wearing them when they put it on. And when it does, it spirals into this multi-genre it's type book. So the second issue is going to be a point and click children's adventure game mixed with little nightmares. The third issue is going to be a noir story, crime noir in a speakeasy. So each book is written as a different genre, and it's all just going to be the weirdest, strangest things that I'm going to come up with. So like in the background, you'll see burning bodies and blood and gore while somebody's singing for her life. One's going to be a space adventure where the weapon is a red rocket. And yes, I mean that red rocket.
Oh,
and
again, Google at your own risk.
Google at your own risk. But where that's what he uses as his weapon to defeat like a Star Wars sci-fi villain. So it's like each one is just going to be this really crazy mesh of stuff. The second issue is kind of a little bit more casual, where the world starts distorting you see a big arrow in the sky and it's clicking around, guiding Quinn like throughout. It's very annoying and it's great. But also the arrow's on the screen the entire time too, so it makes it even more annoying.
Right. I mean, if the one thing that I get out of Sparkle Dog though is pretty much the overall lesson is be careful with what you goof on.
Sure. Yeah.
You know, it's like, because this whole story, if I remember the last time, is about this kid who's pretty much goofing on furry fandom.
Yes.
And kind of like ends up in a situation because of that, you know, that maybe, you know, so hopefully they learn their lesson. But who knows?
Because eventually I did want to add too, is that Sparkle Dog tells Quinn, you have to collect 4 crystal paw pads. And I still sound like a lunatic saying this.
Right. Well, yeah.
You have to collect 4 crystal paw pads in order to free Sparkle Dog, in order to bring back peace and love to the world, because furries were guardians.
Oh no!
World. Yeah, they protected humans.
There was a reason.
Yeah. So it gets really wild, but yeah, it is. Right. It does make fun of, in good taste as well, the culture as well. But yes, it also is careful which places and which fandoms you mess around with.
Yeah, it's like with anything, it's like be humble. You know, it's like
treat everybody with respect. I mean, a lot of the furries that I've ran into, they've been really receptive of this as well. Like they've been very supportive of it. Along with that too, I've never really had a problem with furries before. Now, granted, that's not the same from our previous show when we talked about furries.
I mean, but you know what it is? Look, it's like with anything. It's like, look, it's like I was in furry fandom from probably around like 95 to 2000, you know? So it's like, I kind of, you know, with started with zines and then actually started going to conventions on a regular basis. And it's like, look, it's like anything. There's the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Yep.
You know, and but you know what? The stories about the ugly are funnier. So
they're
you know,
funny.
so it's kind of easy to get kind of, you know, wrapped up in the more seedy side. But at the same time, it's like, you know, look, it's like that I met a lot of cool people that I still talk to this day. They're still making great books. You know, it's like they're still making great artwork. So it's like, you know, it's like with anything. It's like I said, it's like, you know, be humble.
Right. Be humble. And if my thing is that if you're trying to search out the shady stuff, you're not going to have a good time in the fandom.
Well, right. Exactly. Or if you allow that to be the dominant factor of why you're there.
Right, exactly.
You know, you're not going to have a good time. If you're going out of your way to not have a good time, guess what? You're not going to have a good time.
Spoiler alert. It's weird how that works.
Yeah, I know, right?
No.
You know, so Sparkle Dog, you know, it did fund. It did meet goal.
Overfunded.
So you still have how many days left on
18,
it? I missed that. 18. Yeah, so you have plenty of time to go.
Yeah, go on.
No, go ahead.
Oh, I was to say we funded in, and I know our goal was small this time. Our goal was small, but we funded in under 3 hours.
Right.
And to me, funding's funding, like regardless of. And the fact that we got higher, way higher, and we're almost at the next stretch goal, which is the Candy Gore phone wallpaper for Android and iPhone. And then we're almost at the shipping label for the backer tier as well when we get to 50. So we have one more to go.
Right. You know, and the thing is, though, this is kind of your second attempt at launching this book. So it's like, because the first one you had to cancel, I guess you weren't ready, you know, in the end. You had to cancel that campaign, and then it's like you kind of regrouped, and then it's like, but obviously you're having more success the second time around than you did on the first.
Yes. Yeah. And I think I will give a shout out to Hasm, obviously, with Tina and Rodney. They've been very supportive and very helpful with this. And you guys have as well, the whole ICN. After you guys were like, you know, when I realized I wasn't ready for it, I didn't take it as a negative thing. I learned from it. And Blake and we were like, hey, what we'll do is we'll cancel. We'll build everything back up. And even when we canceled, people were still receptive of it. And it was
Right.
nice to see more people pledged, but also the same people that pledged the first time also came back the second time as well. Yeah.
Very good.
So I was very excited about that. So I guess there wasn't, I know canceling and not funding can be like bad or whatever, but
well, it depends on what you do with it.
yeah,
You know, because it didn't hurt Rob Multari at all. I mean, that's the thing. We've interviewed a lot of people, you know, that they're very successful. I mean, like even Madeline a couple of weeks ago, her first campaign, she had to cancel. You know, that it wasn't performing the way she wanted.
Right.
And it's like, so she decided to cancel it rather than, you know, continue something that was going to go to an inevitable end anyway.
Right.
So, you know, it's not, what was it? It's strategic quitting.
Yeah, it is.
You know?
And it's not a bad thing. Like
Right.
quitting is never a bad thing. Coming back and giving up on it completely, I feel like is worse. While you saying, "Oh, I'm just going to abandon this project. It's going to sit there." But coming back better and stronger with the same project is way more fulfilling.
Right.
Plus, it's like it was nice to see when I was as I was doing the interview circuit, and also no more interviews. No, I love it. It's
those
really
are no. I mean, I get it. It's like it does get tiring after. It's like it really just goes to show you this is why celebrities freak out. It's like when they're spending a week answering the same question over and over and over again.
Yes, and it's just and it's fun. But I told Tina, stop. Don't schedule me anymore because I will blow up the moon.
Right.
Like I will cause problems. But no, but I've been getting a lot of, after coming back a second time around, oh my God, you came back. Like, oh, this is great. Like, you didn't give up on it. And I'm like, no, I told Blake when we canceled, we're doing it anyway. Like, we're coming back. So if anybody ever has like a negative feeling about canceling or just, you know, getting it or just canceling, just do it. Come back stronger.
Yeah. It's a strategy.
Yes.
It's not a failure. It's a strategy.
It is.
Yeah.
Quitting is a strategy.
Yeah.
So
I would like to thank the 49 backers who have supported the campaign so far. We have 18 days to go. And and it's reached, it's doubled its goal already, if my math is correct.
Yes.
You know, so thank you everybody for backing the campaign. So if you want to help the campaign get to its next stretch goal, you have 18 days more to do it. So thank you so much. So now so you know, so it's like, so now do you what's next after this? Like, okay, so you have, you know, you still have this campaign, you have the other books. I mean, are you currently,
where do you see yourself in 5 years, Chad?
Well, right. Doing more, finishing Sparkle Dog, hopefully, you know. Right?
Definitely finishing Sparkle Dog. It is a 6. Well, on Friday we discussed. Blake actually came over after not seeing him for months face to face. We're actually going to be doing a mega issue, so we're going to be combining 5 and 6.
Oh, okay, but it's still going to be technically 5 issues.
It's going to technically be 6 issues. Yeah, okay. It's going to be 6 issues, but I'm combining 5 and 6 into like a super issue. And it's really just because of printing costs, and also I'm
that's true.
Lazy.
Yeah. Well, but I guess that could change. But also it's like, because it's like I have this thing in my head where it's like, you know, like with Eager Raven is supposed to be 15 issues, but I'm a little concerned about a particular scene that I want to do that might end up being like going over. And I'm going to have an extra. I'd rather have a thicker issue than an extra issue because I really do want to keep it 15.
Yes. No, and that's actually the problem that I ran into as well.
Right.
Is I'm like, oh wait, I can actually combine 5 and 6, and it flows nicer too.
Right.
And 2, I can actually get something that I can convey properly.
Right.
As for what I'm currently going to be doing and working on, in 5 years, hopefully with a liver still intact. But I'm currently working on with C as well, another project that him and I've been very, very, very passionate about, called Set the Hook. And it is about a angry man whose father was killed by a fish, and now he has to hunt down demon fish to get revenge on this fish that killed his dad.
Sort of like kind of like a Moby Dick thing, but just a lot of fish.
It is Moby Dick. Yeah, yes,
yeah,
it is Moby Dick. Yes. Actually, I do have the Spear of Ahab, Captain Ahab, in the book as well. But we also are too with it. It is a revenge piece,
right?
It's a fun schlocky Moby Dick in real time. It's about this guy named Otis he is 24 years old, but he looks like he is in his 40s.
Right. Yeah, that we've seen that. Yeah,
yes. And why I did that is because he's just so sick of everybody's shit, and he's seen so much that he's just aged quicker than most people.
Yeah, no,
he's a blend between Christopher Maloney and Robert Pattinson from Lighthouse.
Oh boy.
And then I'm currently, obviously, the comics workshop, the Build a Comics workshop. C and I are going to be doing an original piece as well. He told me that we can't announce it yet exactly what we are working on.
Right.
I will say that we do have. I mean, if you do want to get technical, not everything can be like talked about on the show. Like you have to be able to do everything stuff behind the scenes as well. So there are things that we are prepping for too, but I think people are going to really have a good time with it.
Oh, that's good.
Because it's one of the dumbest things I get to write, and I'm very happy about it.
Oh, it's very exciting. Sometimes it's like, it's kind of like why we do this. Sometimes it literally is, it makes me laugh.
Yes. Like, if you have fun with the comic that you're writing, I think you're going to get a lot of people with it. As long as they know you're not, as long as they know you're having fun with the book, they're going to be in on the fun. But if you're writing a book that's just like really straight and it's just really bad, I'm like,
well, but again, anyway. It's like bad being subjective, I guess. It's like to a certain point. So here we are. We're a little bit over, but that's okay. So, Nita, do you have any final thoughts for Chad?
Tune in. No, I have no thoughts for Chad. I'm ready for Chad to leave.
Wow.
Tune in this afternoon at 3 p.m. Eastern for Fike It, Let's Draw with Rodney Fike, and then come back tonight for 8:30 p.m. Eastern for more of Chad's bullshit. And we'll see you guys on Friday for the launch of Ego Raven.
Right. And you know what? And it's like sometimes, you have to jump into the deep end to learn how to swim. So it's like, you know what? I'm going to do this for everybody. It's like, Chad, you have my permission to review Ego Raven Volume 1.
The fuck you just did, Daphne.
I want to look. It's like, look, he's it's look, I figure it's Volume 1. It's 4 issues. It's Volume 1.
Wow, this is really dumb. I read the whole thing behind the scenes.
Oh, you're fired. Again? But it's like, look, I think that in the end, it's like, now the thing is, though, could you do not just keep the alcohol to a minimum, though?
Sure.
Because if it's the one thing that I can tell you, though, is that I either have too
show
many
is not sober with comics, Daphne.
Well, that's true. Yeah, I know. You know what? Look, if I have to learn, I have to learn how to take these things with grace. So what? Fuck it. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens.
I will be as gentle as a snowball in a cream pie.
Hey!
All right.
It's like, look.
Whoa. We're done.
It's like, what am I? Look, it's like, I just, it's like, look, I'm doing this for the peoples. I'm doing this for the peoples. It's like,
you're sending yourself to hell.
It's like, look, the worst that happens. Well, there is the worst that happens. But
if Nita has an anxiety attack because she has a brawl going on behind the scenes of her own network, like, bro,
no, I am opening myself up to this. It's like, look, the worst or best that happens is I have an amazing pull quote to put on the back of one of the issues, the next issue.
One of my favorite pull quotes that I have is, an extra where all it says is, "Wow, this book is okay."
Right.
And I'm like, I really wish that sometimes people would put negative reviews on on the back of books, because it would make me more curious. If does that make sense?
Yeah, I think so. I think so. But it's like, look, honestly though, like I said, I do hope that you enjoy the book. That's
I
all I
won't,
can
just
ask.
by default.
Right, of course. I do hope that you enjoy it.
Wow.
I am offering this courtesy because I feel like I do have to get over myself sometimes.
We're gonna have a brawl right in the right in public too.
Look, let's just say I'm not gonna watch the show. Let's just say that,
I will, and then I'll determine whether or not it gets published.
Okay.
All right, fine.
So Nita will be the mediator.
Look, there was already a couple of reviews that Nita had to tell me I had to take down.
Well, there's certain things that we kind of had to draw the line on.
You're like, no, Chad. I'm like, damn it. Why?
Yeah,
but I do want to say again, thank you so much for having me as well.
Right.
And hopefully I will make you guys my enemies soon. I've been working really
pleasure.
hard and it's not working. So hopefully Ego Raven will draw that line.
Right.
But anybody who's been supporting Sparkle Dog, it's been awesome. We just this morning I woke up and all 3 of the drawn into Sparkle Dog are gone for issue 2.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Wow.
Yeah. And Tina jokes, she's like, people actually bought them, and I'm like, yeah, ooh. Who do you think bought them?
So it's like, are these for personas or for? Okay.
Yeah, there is one that did back, and I have to confirm if it's them. And I'm like, okay, if it's who I think it is, it's going to be way funnier because they're not going to be a persona.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, but I have to contact them and be like, you do know what you bought, right?
Right.
I just want to be clear with this. And if they reply back with yes, do it, I'm going to be like, all right, but you're not going to be a persona. It's going to be way funnier.
Right. Okay.
There's actually one that I was I'm really excited about to do for the drawing. Is one of the both people, the first 2 people contacted me and they've been wonderful to work with. But the second one that bought everything, what he's doing is really adorable. But I also told him too that dialogue is also the dialogue is what you get. You don't have control of that. So proceed with caution.
Right.
But when he contacted me and said, hey, this is what I'm doing, my heart kind of melted and I'm like, yeah,
look at that. Look at that. Yeah.
My heart grew a little pop.
3 sizes that day.
3 days that day. I'm like, all right.
So aside from Kickstarter, where can the peoples find you?
In hell. No, so you can find me on Facebook at the Iron Squid, I think it is. And if you send me friends request, I'll just add you. And unless you're a scammer, because then I will harass you. Anyway, you can also follow me.
There was that. Yeah, there was that one time.
There was that. Oh no, there was one yesterday too.
Oh really?
Yeah, it was beautiful.
They just keep coming.
I think they've ran out of people, so they're coming to me.
Nobody else.
I get them all the time. They love my art and they want to commission a piece, and it's like, bitch.
Right? Yeah. For real.
They're like, I love your writing. I really want to work with you. Hey, here's my Shonen Jump manga.
Right.
That I stole.
Yeah.
But you can also follow me on Twitter at Casual Nerd Chad, where I usually post updates on what I'm working on as well. You can also find me at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every Monday. I already said that. Every Monday, with Shots with Comics right here on the Indie Comics Network. Not After the Dark. I will get you the updated commercial for that as well. But at the same time, though, I'm just going to keep both of them too because you could say, Chad, you're going back there, and I'm like, look, it was one. It was one Charizard, one Charizard, and one Dutch oven. That's all I was saying. Good Lord! And if you don't know what a Charizard is, go look that. Actually, don't.
No, do not look that up.
Totally look that up.
Or is it White Dragon? I forgot which one it is. Something with a dragon. It involves fire.
But don't look up Charizard cream pie because that one will get you every time.
No, do not.
Charizard.
Especially the 3D video. Do not ever watch that.
Charizard
Look,
cream
one,
pie.
this is a House of Bob conversation, and two, don't Google anything we talk about.
Google everything
No,
I say.
Google
nothing.
everything on that day.
No, do not. At your own risk.
Or
Oh,
come
my
over to my
goodness.
show and then do your Googling.
Right, yeah, exactly. So again, check out the shows that Nita was talking about later on today.
Yeah, Fike It's great. Come over to Fike It.
Yes, and I would like to thank everybody who hung out with us on the chat. And yes, and I'd like to thank the 8 people who have made it. Who had made it to this hour and 14 minutes.
I don't know how they did it. How could y'all stand Chad that long?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Really.
Like, good Lord, people.
You know,
I do my best to be as annoying as hell, and y'all keep coming back.
You know, there you go. So thank you so much for joining us. And so we will be back. Well, I will be back on Wednesday with another draw stream from 4 p.m. to 6 Eastern. And then again, we will be back on Friday where we will
and Saturday. Fuck yo. It's the last Saturday.
Oh my God, already?
Shit, Daphne, you got to get me some stuff.
Oh my
goodness. Is it the awkward? Is that the artwork?
It's already. Oh my God.
I gotta send you more uncomfortable art.
Oh my goodness. Yes, we need uncomfortable art because we will be joined by Jake Twister with part 2 of our conversation. This time it's about what happens when artwork makes us uncomfortable. So it's going to be a very interesting conversation. I get to share some of the stuff that I've been reading on my phone these past couple of weeks.
I will send you some stuff too.
All right. So we're going to be talking about that on the 25th. So yeah, it's going to be a full weekend again. So Friday, we're going to have our launch party. Saturday, we're going to have House of Bob again. And we hope that you can all join us. So if you want to learn more about me and my artwork and everything and all the campaigns that are coming up, you can head on over to my main portfolio site at egoworks.com, EGOWORKS, where you can find links to all of my galleries and social media sites, but I mostly post to Facebook. If you're interested in seeing sketches and current work in progress updates and any live updates I might have. And remember, you can find all my videos here on YouTube at my channel at Daphne Lage, Lage Art, which also simulcasts through the Indie Comics Network. And you can remember, you can read Eagle Raven for free at eagleworks.com. Updates every day. It's full color edition. From Monday to Friday, so you can read it for free, so that you'll kind of like know what's going on when issue 6 finally launches on Friday. But if you prefer your fantasy to be more of a furry Lord of the Rings adventure, follow the link over to Tall Tales, TAILSonline.com. And not only can you read the first 20 issues of Tall Tales for free, but you can also read the continuing adventures of Ravenwood and the gang within the Tears of the Mother story arc, which also uploads every day, Monday through Friday as well. I mean, a lot of stuff, a lot of reading material for you as well. What, Chad?
Oh, I was just saying, can you order the trade paperbacks of Tall Tales?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. Everything is available through my store on either of those websites as well. I'm about to say channel websites as well. But all the links are in the show notes below. Head on over to my link tree. The store is there as well. So you can always find my stuff. So thank you, everybody. And in the words of the ancients, eat your food, moisturize, mind your business. And maybe it wasn't such a good idea for me to give my book for Chad to review. I don't know.
Got it right here. Right here.
And do the work. But also in the meantime, do the work, because when you actually do the work, you never have to fake any of your accomplishments. So we'll see you next time.